After dealing with the Bleak Emperor with James's New Deal, the party also reunited with Richard, who sadly is not with us today. And yet, the journey to the South Elven Kingdoms is still as perilous as it always is, with many unknowns still before the group. With the large town on the path, a lot to be considered. For some, it is the discovery of their origins that plagues their mind. For others, it is the hope of a new beginning with an internal beast gnashing at their cage. And for some, it's a choice whether to run away or continue to stay. But for one, it's the promise and the rekindling, potentially, of a relationship. And that's where we left off. So, it is still night. Everyone can gain a long rest. Unless anyone has anything they wish to do. And morning comes. For once, it's a very beautiful sunrise. It's the beautiful colours of teal and orange and blood red. Not in a way of some blood has been spilt, but more just the colours of a new day that is showing the signs of going into autumn. And so, for one of you, you didn't really sleep in a bed, you more or less slept on your clothes with a particular someone. For others, it's the being exhausted and not making it back to your tent, but making sure that the saddle is clean and away from the dirt of the ground. But still, you didn't quite make it to the bed, but you managed to make it to the floor, and that was good enough. For one of you, after breathing and going through your trance, and going through just the replaying of the past few days in the span of 4 hours, a lot has happened. But you were given a direction of the city of Aceburn that may hold more answers, as well as, sooner or later, if you choose to, the Fae is calling. To try and understand your origins. And for one of you who either barely sleeps or doesn't sleep at all, you manage to find some sustenance in the dreams of others. They're way more hopeful now instead of nightmares, but again, as stated before, they are losing their potency. You haven't started gaining another hunger, but it is a little concerning that the dream energy is starting to lose its texture, its flavor, its taste, its sustenance. It's just not filling the vessel as much as it should be. But for one of you, waking up to their technically wife, ex-wife, one or the other, depends on the day.
Still married. I would say
Yeah.
separated.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's continued is up in the air.
Yep. And as much as the night brought some comfort in the arms of a very familiar person, or demonic entity, a discussion still needs to be had. Which brings this lovely morning to a little bit of tension for you, James. As you open your eyes and everything is sore in the best way possible, You don't find your wife sleeping next to you. She's staring at the sunrise, leaning against the tree, wearing your shirt, and not much else.
Hell yeah.
Her wings are folded up. She's actually shape-shifted enough so they're not there. And she actually just looks like a very standard tiefling right now. And is just enjoying the sunlight. I didn't want to wake you, Red.
I appreciate the rest, but I did call you here with more than just that news.
I wanted my instinct to be wrong on that.
It never is.
Why can't it just be a simple morning for us for once?
If only it were that easy.
So, stop having the thundercloud over your head and just speak your mind.
In order to get Mira removed from being entangled in my contract, I had to have my contracts voided in a sense, and that contract had to be taken over.
Red, I'm already aware of this. I can smell the new contract on you. I can also smell that you died.
Yeah.
I can also smell that you're practically a newborn in an adult body.
Yeah, the new skin's really weird, honestly.
You'll get used to it. It's like shapeshifting. Eventually you'll get used to it.
I don't know if I want to.
Well, it's better than just understanding that every single part of your body itches all the time.
Well, can you smell who the contract's with?
Oh yeah, I can fully smell who the contract belongs to. And out of everyone, that's probably the least worst individual to be beholden to.
Yeah.
If you restarted your contract with Una, I would have slashed your throat open.
Oh no, that's fair. And on the bright side, the Bleak Emperor does seem upset with Asmodeus in the least of terms.
Well, that's a good thing to know, seeing as Asmodeus is making a lot of bold moves.
And
At least from what I've gathered.
And I also needed you to check on Mira. She's been removed from the contract, but I don't know if Asmodeus has informed her or what.
If he was going to lose his best enforcer, he wouldn't do it that way. He'd try to keep her on the infernal payroll as much as possible without telling her that she was free. So I will be able to keep an eye on her, as well as jumping in and out without her seeing me. Are we shit parents, Red?
I think we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can with the cards we're dealt.
You know, just once I got to feel what it means to be a humanoid for a little while with you. So when you gave our daughter up by accident, I felt like I'd lost the only part of me that truly mattered. But at least that means there's a chance now. Now, I don't know the ins and outs and the specifics of your contract. It's not really my place to know. I understand how the business works more than most people think. Not just beautiful golden eyes. or luscious curves.
It's not too dissimilar to the contract I had with Una.
True, but at least you have someone who's not going to dick you over.
That we know of.
The Bleak Emperor is a lot of things, but I can say from experience and from working by proxy with his proxies, if he says something, he means it. And if he does something else, it's because he has ulterior motives. Yes, that can sometimes dick 100 to 100,000 people over in the process. However, normally it comes out of the law. And anyone who tries to circumvent the law, he is there with an axe in hand.
He also offered a home in his realm, if that would interest you.
Hmm. Now, was it a home that would be locked in between different planes, so that way you could get to it no matter where it was, and no matter where you are? Or is it, like, just there?
I believe he mentioned something about that, but I was kind of in the midst of a lot going on. Bit fuzzy.
Well, well, that's where Bastion is, from my understanding, a nexus point. It becomes another ley line for the interlace, and allows the interlace to be strengthened, keeping the gods on one side and keeping mortals safe on the other.
And that's a good thing, right?
Well, we don't want the gods starting the war again.
True, true.
I've already seen too much as is. I don't want to see our daughter, if and when we're able to get her out where she is, coming to a world that is literally tearing itself apart. But it also means that there will be a room filled with multiple different doors that lead to different places. And if you're not careful, you can end up in a place you don't want to be. Or messing with the ley line enough that it becomes unfazed and ends up in a random plane of existence that you can't escape from. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong if you start messing with it, because it will end up messing back.
Not gonna lie though, I do like the sound of having a home again.
I'm not gonna lie, I also like the idea of having a home. It's... I mean, I can charm my way into any five-star hotel, but I can't put roots down.
Well, if it means anything, I do have, what do you call it? A blood favor? I think is what he said.
Her skin goes from deep red to light red. Like, oh,
Yeah, I thank you for waking him up.
oh wow. That's,
That wasn't even part of the contract. The contract's separate. I just also have the blood favor.
treat that with extreme care.
Is it like a genie wish or like a monkey paw kind of thing, where it's like,
It's it's neither. It literally allows you to circumvent every single law, tradition, reality in existence, and do whatever you will with the power of a god in your hand.
huh,
It's the equivalent. It's a monkey paw without limit and without consequence.
well, if life's taught me anything, it's there's always consequences to everything.
Yeah, it's the consequences of your own actions if you misuse it.
Yeah.
And the Bleak Emperor will simply, if you misuse it, he will laugh, walk away, and let you deal with the consequences. Not to say that he won't offer some advice on how to fix it, and sometimes it will be helpful, and other times he will be sarcastic as hell, because that's just how he is from
Yeah,
what I understood.
yeah, he's one for the theatrics. I've learned. He we were talking to him, right, and he did this thing where if he was talking to someone, instead of just like looking at him, he sprouted a fucking eye and just out at them. Just yeah.
I
At one
mean,
point, his head split in half to look in two different directions. And when I said, "Hey, you can just turn your head," he did a thing where he turned his head, and the whole goddamn realm just twisted. It was
well,
so. Mm.
well, how much do you know? And she actually like sits down in front of you at that point. How much do you know about the gods in essence? Besides, as you've been working up with them for a long time, you've never really understood how they work.
It's less working with than working for.
Well, let's put it this way: the form you saw was a form they decided to take in order to interact with mortals. It's how they are perceived. He could have appeared as a giant boar, and that's how your mind would have perceived him. Where you were sitting, which I can only assume was the deepest reaches of his realm, was him. The entire spinal cord is him.
Ah, so the head turning thing, that wasn't theatrics. That was literally his spine, his head.
No, that was theatrics
Oh,
because he
okay.
he he is the realm of Kamorta itself, so he can decide what to do with it at any point in time. Anyone who's on the impression that they are in control of whatever disc they are a part of, they're not. I've seen one Archduke try to put up as many defenses as possible, and the Bleak Emperor just walked right through them like they weren't even there, and just enjoyed and gloated and flayed the person alive.
Yeah, he had a pit thing skinned alive, hanging upside down, dip it in lava. It was a lot.
Yeah, yeah. If you ask him to give you power, he will give you power in the worst way possible because you're not asking for power in the lawful sense, you're asking for power in your selfish sense, which he takes personally.
Honestly, makes me scared to use that blood favor.
I would be.
Yeah.
Like, it's used on the most dire circumstances. That's what I would say about it, and I mean, so long as you're the only one who's got one, I think it should be fine.
Uh, he gave
You
one
know, to everyone.
to the group. Yeah, not the whole traveling party, but
Oh
yeah,
boy. Okay.
I believe only one of us has used one so far. Uh, Yaya used it to bring back her whole uh country, her people, basically.
That should give you an inkling of how powerful a blood favor is.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's scary.
It's it's a terrifying and awesome power, and it's a mere fraction of what gods can do. Particularly when seeing as how they've never had limit in their entire eternal existence.
There was another thing, uh, a part of the contract left blank. He did present an option if we wanted to of reverting Mira back to an infant. She would lose her experience and life growing up, but she would also lose the trauma that no doubt Asmodeus would have put on her in that state she's in. I think it's probably not the best idea. I mean, we are the experiences. we are the mistakes we make, or others make in this sense. But I did want your input on it.
As much as I would love to have my baby girl back in my arms, as much as I'd like to see those red little cheeks again with those little nub horns, I wouldn't do that to her. Because we would know.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm going against my own nature, I can't be selfish with her. As much as I would love to be.
That means we just need to make sure she's safe, and we need to find a way to get her away from Asmodeus.
Well, having a deity of law and hell on your side helps. Still need to be in the Infernal Court to deal with it, because there are rules. Strict rules.
Now, I do have a court appearance coming up,
Mm-hmm.
in which I'm assuming Asmodeus would have to be present as the one bringing the charges.
He would. He'd also hilariously be the one residing as the judge.
But when it comes to witnesses of my character, the Bleak Emperor now also counts as that.
He does.
Which means the Bleak Emperor will be brought into the courts, into a legal proceeding against Asmodeus.
He could literally split himself into 3 different individuals, one as a witness, one as a jury, one as a judge. For him, he obeys the law, but he knows how to circumvent it really, really easily. That goes within his nature. Just don't ask him to fully break a law.
No. But I think it would be fun for the Bleak Emperor. He loves his theatrics.
He does, but additionally on top of that, this is the first time I'm hearing of the Bleak Emperor waking up, which means I'm keeping it to myself. Because I'm pretty sure if he's going the theatric route, he wouldn't want anyone to know that he's back until he walks straight through the courtroom.
In which case, the best plan would be to go to court and then
appear as normal and just let the magic unfold.
I was gonna say I could call him as a witness, and I call the Bleak Emperor as a witness, and he just walks into the courtroom.
Forget walking in, he would just appear erupting in infernal fire and then be there on the seat, smiling.
I think he'd have fun with that.
Yep, without fail. You see she looks away for a moment. Ah, boy. My quarry is waking up. So.
I am sorry to pull you away from work.
I'd much rather be here than at work. And she takes the thing, she's wearing the dominatrix outfit again. I do not like wearing this. Leather never sits well on my scales.
Yeah. You look better in something looser.
I mean, I'll happily have your neck around my neck. Happily have your hand around my neck, but then again, you've never had the best grip.
Oh, yeah.
You're much more suited to, drawing.
Yes. My strength comes from my back and arms and less grip strength.
Oh, I'm aware.
No.
That's why I enjoy pinning you.
Well, I have a way of contacting you. Now, I show her the little book.
That herb.
Oh. Okay, is there another way I can contact you?
Unfortunately not. But next time, cursive with your symbols.
I'm gonna have to practice my cursive.
Yes, you absolutely are. Unless you want me to claw up your backside, and not in the fun way.
Well, okay.
Not in the fun way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll practice. I'll practice my cursive writing in case I need to summon
Wonderful.
you again.
Wonderful. She casts prestidigitation and does a full face of makeup. Until next time, Red. Clicks her fingers and it disappears in a puff of sulfur. You realize she took your... You realize she took your shirt with
She
her.
took my shirt. God damn it.
Yep.
Honestly, walking back from the woods shirtless wouldn't be that weird.
No, but walking back with covered in scars and bite marks might raise questions. Might
it's fine.
is might is the big word there.
Yeah, might. Shit. How the fuck does the cursive G go again?
Depends on who you see first.
True.
Yeah. I will say just go ahead and roll me a perception check.
It's not great. Oh, I have advantage because of the robe of eyes.
Which you're not wearing currently.
Shit. That's gonna be that's a 7. Okay. 13.
13. You look around the camp and everyone's going about their normal day. And as far as you can tell, everything seems to be normal.
I'm probably just gonna rush to get my robe and just so I can just drape it over myself to kind of
No, that's fair.
have a bit of modesty.
Yeah, I mean, you'll pass a few people and you see like Mary just goes, "I'll see you in my tent whenever you want ointments."
More like battle scars.
I'll tell your wife I said hi.
Didn't have much conversating happening.
I don't need to know.
You started the conversation.
Yes, well, fuck you too. And good morning, you ass. And she goes and joins the communal porridge area. So, the next person to wake up groggily is Daisy. As you wake up with a blanket like covered over you, and you have no idea how it got there. But you do feel very, very well rested.
I just kind of like lift my face up. Am I in my own tent?
You are in your tent.
Then Kitty probably did it.
Well, funny enough, you do see Bloodhunter studded leather armor in the corner. As you look in the bed, and literally passed out, curled up, is Argos.
I don't remember that.
Well, you're both clothed.
I still don't remember that happening. Oh, whatever.
You gather he didn't have enough time to get to his tent, so he kind of just bunked. Until he eventually just like rolls over and goes, "Morning," as he just sits up and just goes and gets dressed and gets his armor on.
Mm-hmm. It is morning. You are not mistaken.
How are you feeling?
Like I maybe actually ran some stress away.
Good. Well, the next time you need someone to keep an eye on you, you know where to find me.
I don't technically need someone to keep an eye on me.
To make sure you don't just run up into the hills and never come back.
I would come back. eventually.
Mm-hmm. Again,
Anyway, I will know. And if you ever just need to hit something that will actually fight back a bit,
I'll go hunting for a monster, because I don't think hitting someone who doesn't know how to handle a sword properly is my cup of
I
tea.
know how to handle claws. Don't worry. I'm still learning with the sword. It's been a long while since I've had one of those in my hands.
I feel like you might be more suited to a scimitar or a short sword or something that's a bit more finesse-based.
Mm, true enough. Ik was altijd. Wait, whoa, that went Dutch. I was always better with the scimitar in training. That's very true. I've got one of those somewhere. Haven't unpacked it in a long time.
Might need to stop doing that.
That's part of training, isn't it?
Who says I'm going to train you? I'm just saying it's better to have that as a survival method than claws. Because yeah, you can shapeshift into various different animals, but I think that only goes so many times before you need to take a break. Anyone you're fighting is not, and well, anyone you're fighting in the moment is not going to give you that break.
Not fair.
Anyway,
I just don't like it. To avoid weird questions,
I'm literally
how about
just
you
gonna.
just?
I'm just gonna walk out. I'm really not
Mhm.
giving a shit if anyone says anything, because nothing's happened.
No, exactly. But some people will talk, and I'm just gonna do my morning stretches.
Well, just let them bloody talk. As he just goes and just leaves.
He will never be a ray of sunshine.
He's
I
a
don't
blood hunter.
think that.
He's a blood hunter. Absolutely not.
Come on. I just do some stretches, and then I just
Mhm.
just go searching through my stuff to find like my scimitar and all that. It's probably just in like one of the bags or just
Well,
hanging on the side of something, but
weirdly enough, as you go looking around, you find a very familiar weapons case that has a very familiar symbol of a person that is dead. Someone who,
huh?
someone who you've had a close relation with.
Oh god, no, not his.
That is his family crest.
Do I remember taking this at all?
It was more like a gift he gave you at one point.
Yeah, but do I remember like taking it with me? Is more what I mean. Cause
Nope.
yeah, we're not
Either,
touching that.
it was either in the heat of the moment of running away, or going back to reclaim some stuff, and you just grabbed it absentmindedly. Who can say?
No, no, I'm not dealing with that right now. No, no. Some things are better left in the past, and I'm just gonna
You are
work
aware
away.
that Mason has probably some spare scimitars, and Captain Gorth is a blade is he maintains the
Exactly.
armory, so there are several others.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna go. No, we're not. You know what? We're gonna pick up the box and just find Mason.
Okay.
I'm not gonna open it. I'm not gonna do anything with it except for picking it up, grabbing it under my arm, and just
Mhm.
finding Mason.
Well, Mason is weirdly enough meditating in the direction towards the village.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna wait until he's done, just at like a few feet.
Good morning.
If you've got more time to kill, just
Come sit down.
right.
So what can I do for you
Hi.
this morning?
Well, you can help me get a new scimitar.
Yeah, that'll be easy to do. Don't see why
You
not.
can
I've got a few spare.
help me get. I've got the box in my lap as I sat down. And you can help me get rid of all of this.
That's a very ornate weapons case.
You know who gave it to me.
I do.
I don't want it. No, I've been getting away from that. I didn't even realize I packed it, apparently. But I don't want those memories coming back.
I'll take it off your hands. You don't need to ask. As he moves it to his left side away from you.
Are we sure he's dead? Like, is there a way to check?
Not without a body, or not without a fragment of him. Which I don't think that counts.
What would count?
A piece of his hair, an arm, very grotesque stuff to be fair. Which
I mean,
none of the items I have, so I wouldn't know if he was alive or dead.
I might have some. Don't really want to dive into that either.
We'll cross that.
It doesn't accidentally have like a finger stuck in there. Just kind of eyeing the box.
No, you would be able to tell if it did. And literally
Yeah,
goes,
it would stink.
We'll come to that when you're ready.
You know, the only reason I'm asking is that the thought of him not being dead is honestly, well, that means I could actually accidentally run into him. That? Well,
If that happens, we'll deal with it.
No, we will just get away from it. That is one of those things we are not going to deal with. We're just going to avoid it.
That's what I mean by dealing with it. We deal with it in the ways that we're used to.
Just kind of always, assumed, never thought to check.
A lot had happened. A lot of chaos, upheaval, Hellgates opening. At least now we know the name for them. But still, there wasn't any time to check. So...
Yeah.
And it's a little bit far to go in back and check. That's another, 3 months of travel back the way we came.
I know. It just kind of makes me nervous somehow. Not knowing.
I don't know if any of the rest of my droid circle is alive or dead. Makes me nervous. I get where you're coming from.
Reasons.
Yeah. I get why you're nervous, though. If we come across a very powerful individual who has the ability to get us back there instantly and back without problems, then we can go take a look. But until then, focus on the horizon, not the mountains behind you. Because, to put it literally, and looks up at the very large mountains, that particular piece of your pass is a very tall mountain to climb.
Yeah, well, I wasn't planning on climbing it.
That's what I mean. For now, if, like I said, keeping it in the past, keeping it at the top of your mountain, and just focusing on what's ahead of you.
Something in me wants to say if I ever see him again, I'll kill him, but I don't think I can.
You wouldn't be the first. And you won't be the last when it comes to those types of individuals.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think I can. If the choice were put before me, I don't think I could.
And that's something I always asked you to not lose. Is that kindness.
Yeah. I've got my parents to thank for that.
And if we ever run into them, I will absolutely thank them.
Yeah, we're not anywhere near them, are we?
And last I heard, they were taking a trip in the Feywild. At least that's what I remember you telling me.
I mean, they could pop up anywhere if that's the case.
Well, I think they're safer in that dimension than they are here for now.
I don't think they're safe anywhere.
But then again, are any of us?
Nope.
Honestly, I think I am just enjoying this moment. Just this pocket moment of peace before having to get back on the road.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to do that, like, today.
Staying in one place, particularly as close as we are to the mountain range, it's pushing our luck as is.
So, are we gonna go to that town, or are we gonna go?
It's the only way forward, and not to be perfectly honest, I think a lot of people in our group are needing some civilization reset. As much as I'm not a fan of it, I think it will do good for everyone to see other people thriving in these conditions.
Some people might choose to stay behind.
If they choose to stay behind, that's their business. If everyone chooses to stay behind, that's their business. I know where I'm going. Hope is what's gotten us this far, and if people want to stay in a town where they can make a living, they go with my blessing.
Yeah.
I don't blame
You know how
people
good I am with change.
You know how good I am with change as well. I would stay for a few days, though. It would be a change of pace, and after all the adrenaline, all the anxiety, all the stress, rough sleeping, I actually wouldn't mind sleeping in a bed. A proper one, not a rough straw cot that we've had to makeshift to try and sleep in.
I mean, it wasn't too bad.
No, I
We
agree.
slept
It's
in
not.
worse.
No, we've slept in a pigsty before, so there's that.
Yeah, that was not a successful one.
Yeah.
It was warm though.
It was. I'm just hoping that will be welcomed and not met with guarded suspicion.
We probably will be. We're strangers in town.
Or they might get very excited that we came beyond the mountains.
And we have some colorful figures with us.
So does everywhere. even before the war.
True. Then again, war changes things.
True.
We don't know what happened here, if anything happened here, and what faces they saw when it happened.
I'm a little bit more concerned now there's no signs of war. Half this place doesn't look desolate. It doesn't look like it's had a few impacts. It just looks as the North did before all of it happened.
Well, it's good ground for running, I can tell you that.
It's good ground for burrowing as well.
Good ground for growing.
My blood's not cooled enough for setting roots.
No, I don't think it ever will be.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
you'll die before you set roots.
Eventually I'll set roots.
Keep telling yourself that.
I tell myself that every morning.
Yet every day you make a different choice.
So do you. I don't
know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I never said I was going to put down roots. No, quite the opposite, actually. There's too much to see in the world to just settle for one place.
And yet you haven't got started on that.
Every chance I decide to skip town, well, skip camp, just go off, something happens and I'm put backwards.
I guess that's fate's way of saying stick with it for now.
Yeah. Fate has interesting plans for people sometimes.
Always does.
So, seeing as we're gonna move towards that place, do you think we need to maybe just come with something to, I don't know, show them we don't have bad intent, just for, like,
All we have is the clothes on our backs, the minor amount of coin in our purse, and our word.
true. Yeah, we got nothing.
We can show by our actions.
Hopefully.
I also hope they give us the chance to show by our actions.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick to the back a little bit with this one.
No, that's fair.
My people skills are very limited to people I know.
I noticed.
It's always been that way. I've gotten better at it. Yeah. Is we've not talked a lot lately, have we?
We've not had a chance to.
No, that's right. What do you think of this whole situation we're in? Not. I mean, I ran for a full 6 hours yesterday. That cleared a lot of stress out but it had built up to a point where I was just a walking panic attack. I can't imagine you did much better.
Roll an insight check.
Shit, dice. What is my insight? Oh, that is pretty good. 24.
24. He's as stoic as always, but there's parts of him that are starting to show the wear and tear. He's holding it together with the hope of that southern elven kingdom. That's literally probably, you gather, the only thing that's stopping him from having a full-blown, collapse.
Hey, Mason.
Mm.
What do you do for stress relief? Do you hit things? Do you run? Do you
Yeah,
hibernate?
I always have things to run and fly and burrow, but I haven't really done what I thought they would do.
So, I mean, I know you're a couple of years older than I am. Just saying, what did you do before the world went?
I was at the very bottom of the ocean.
So you actually need to swim.
I was consorting with krakens and giant whales and one very, very old and wise dragon turtle.
So, basically, what you do for stress relief is just live under the pressure of the ocean.
It's muted. It's easier. It's quieter.
And
But,
louder.
but it hides you away from issues. It doesn't surpass them or suppress them. It just hides you from them.
What do you think running does? It's the same thing, just a different way.
Honestly, I've not had much time to think about how to de-stress in a druidic way.
Maybe you should, because you're starting to get gray hairs and wrinkles.
You're not that far from the grave either.
Oh, I'll get there way before you do. But don't know if you noticed, but usually humans live to, well, at most the early triple digits. At most, and that's if they are. Have you seen humans that are that old?
They have.
They are not pretty. Look, they look like they're about to just, drop dead any second. That does not look good on people.
I'm aware.
So, that'll be me way before you even get to that look. If I even make it to the triple digits, which maybe. Maybe that would not be a good look for me. Can you imagine this old? How big will those antlers be then? They continue to grow. They'll be so heavy. Yeah, that's what you love about me. I always get you with crazy, crazy things. But you do know that they have continued to grow.
He literally, like, flicks one of them. I'm aware.
Maybe I should just file them down at that age.
They are pretty much filled with nerve endings. I wouldn't recommend it.
Get there.
Unless you want to deal unimaginable amount of pain to yourself.
I should just break them off. That'll be quick, clean. Out. Done. And just imagine the weight. They are heavy already. Maybe I'm just not strong.
You're stronger than most.
True. Stronger than Kitty for sure. That's not hard to be stronger than Kitty. Hey Mason, about Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we're like best friends.
Mm.
Is it normal for best friends to be that flirty?
Is there a particular reason why you're asking me this?
Because you are older than I am. Maybe you've seen this kind of a thing before.
The entire time that I've known you and Kitty, she's asked you to be her wife. She's flirted with you numerous times.
I thought she was joking. What?
At what point do you think she was joking?
Because when Harmon asked me, it was all serious, and she's just like fun and laughing and that. He was all serious.
He asked you out of duty and obligation. She's asking you because she genuinely does care.
I don't think it was just duty and obligation with him, but
my point is, making. She wouldn't. Kitty's not the type of person to stick around. She's got a lot of wanderlust in her.
yeah.
And if you were to go, she would follow.
Yeah, but a friend would too.
No, they wouldn't. I'm your best friend, and I wouldn't. Is it so horrible to have that much belief in yourself that someone does genuinely like you for you, and not what you offer?
I mean, you met the guy.
What's so hard to believe about it?
I don't know. It just kind of feels like she's got so much more life to live than I've got. It wouldn't be fair for her to.
And yet, she's the type of person that lives in the moment. And that's what draws you to her.
Yeah. She could do with a little less recklessness, though.
Coming from someone who woke up a god, apparently.
Yeah, speaking about that, oracles. Just take this.
I am not taking them back.
I need to be rid of these things.
As
like
you hand
yesterday.
them to me, he just tosses them back in your lap. I am not picking those up again. I'm pretty sure there may be a shop of some kind in that town that you can just throw them off to.
Let's hope. Because I really need to be rid of those things. They're dangerous.
They're the deck of oracles. Of course they're going to be dangerous.
Oh, I mean,
Magic items often are.
oof. Look at me. This is I think the only one I've got. Oh no, wait, I've got others. But yeah, that god waking incident was
Mm-hmm.
incident. I don't want to be doing that again.
Then don't use them anymore. Keep them on you until you can sell them in the legitimate means, get a little bit of coin out of it, or whatever. Or a favor, or bartering, or whatever. And just not use them. There's always that option.
Yeah. I'm gonna be stuffing them into someone else's backpack, maybe. And they can get the blame.
But when it comes to Kitty, have you ever considered maybe just asking her, like outright? You haven't, have you?
Past that subject? No, of course not. I'll think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Every time you say that, it hangs over your head. Like low-hanging fruit. For weeks.
Yeah, that's...
Make a move, don't make a move. Simple as that.
I just thought she would like somebody who actually be able to keep up with her for like the rest of her life. That is something I'm not. I don't think I'm good enough for her.
I'm pretty sure she would say the exact same thing if she was being completely serious. You're
Why
both
would she not be good?
I don't know, why don't you ask yourself the question, why aren't you good enough for her?
Because
And give
I'll
it
be dead before we start life.
Ask yourself honestly. It's not because of age. If she was that concerned about the age, she wouldn't try to pursue you. She'd have a fling, and wish you well, and then walk away. But she's staying and pursuing. So what's the real reason? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You don't have one.
Guess I'm just scared.
That's perfectly normal. Because it also means you like her back.
Yep.
You're turning red.
Kind of from the moment I met her, okay?
You were beyond obvious.
Wow, thanks.
Would you prefer me to be doing white lies right now and trying to say stuff, or would you prefer me to be blunt and honest?
I'm not sure even anymore. It's just stop talking.
Mm-hmm. You can't argue with logic.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
I'm thinking about it.
But you don't.
Give it a week.
Give it a week and you'll be coming back here with the exact same questions.
Oh, wouldn't ask you to get rid of whatever that box holds in the box?
I already promised you I would take it off your hands and get rid of it.
Thank you.
Now go eat something.
Yeah. You too. It won't be any
Alrighty.
good to anyone if you're falling off your bones.
He stands up, grabbing the weapons case, and follows you. He drops it off his own tent, but he follows you. So here's a question for Kitty. Where are you at the moment?
Spying on Mason.
Now, Kitty would have probably popped into actually Mary's tent in the morning
Mm-hmm.
after everything's gone, because she's not gone to help Mary out.
So as you walk into Mary's tent, the three individuals that have become demonkin, the new branch of tiefling, the ones with like the black tendrils that represent horns, them looking very sickly ill but being fine. She's looking after them, monitoring them, making sure that they're not about to drop dead for any reason. It's still very well unknown when it comes to that. And she looks at you guys. Oh, good morning to you.
I think I've figured out a couple things lately. And now I know what.
Would that be would that be apothecary stuff or would that be personal stuff?
Well, I believe I figured out that if you touch someone and you say some words, it can make them feel better.
Well, yeah, there have been scriptures and scrolls and other things written about the miracle of healing. Arcane or druidic or religious based.
Kind of reversed the thought pattern of what I normally do to wake up an undead skeletal body or form, and I can help people.
That's pretty handy.
So I know we've lost a lot of the assistance here. If it bothers you, I won't do it, but if you think it could be helpful.
Well, honestly, right now, thankfully, I don't have any injuries that need tending to, but your help is always welcome. It doesn't, no matter how whatever your methods are, you've always been extremely helpful.
I lean into her ear and, yeah, we won't be bringing out that book of mine normally like I do. I'll be leaving that in this bag I have because it has some issues.
Noted. You know, not my business, not my business.
I also do have a lot of bone marrow that's been firmly powdered if you need any. I need something to do to keep my mind going with all the craziness going on, and that skeletal thing that I woke up, he carried a whole bunch of bones, and I've just been like grinding bones because you need something to do. Do you need
Kitty.
bone marrow?
Kitty.
Yes.
She moves a seat next to her. Sit down.
Alright. Quiet in
What's
here.
Like I said, it's a slow morning. No one's injured themselves. So why don't you actually tell me what's going on in your mind?
Some hag made a deal for my contract with liches, and I got a lich's book, and I've apparently learned everything I know from a lich. Well, that's a lot of something.
She sits down at that point. I'm going to pretend that I try to understand any of those words. Hags, bad, from the books that I've read. Liches, also bad, from the more books that I've read. Deals, contracts when it comes into hags normally means helping conceive a child. That's what the fairy tales always tell me and my kin in the burrows before everything went to shit.
Seems I was taken.
Yeah, that tends to be the it tends to be the MO of hags and some fae. They kidnap children in the middle of the night that they've allowed to be born into the world for all manner of rituals.
I was taken from the Shadowfell.
Well, that I don't know much about. I mean, I've heard the stories my papa would always tell me, and he would hear that from his papa and his papa before that, and there's always rumors and stories about that place. Not a
My
lot, not a
adopt
lot of it good.
Well, I don't know if it was much better than the adopted parents who I thought I really loved and loved me and cared about me, who seemed to be undead liches.
Oh, that must have been a shock.
Quite a bit of a shock.
Ooh.
You know, it is what it is, and I gotta figure out a book or something to write everything I know in that's no longer tainted by them, so that'll be interesting on its own.
She reaches down and hands you like a small little like A5 journal. It's it's missing a few pages, but it might be something for you to hold on to for a little bit.
That would
Uh,
be great, because
I got 10 other books that I'm writing in, so
no, that'd be great, because I woke up some gods, as you already know, and I really got to write everything back out in something that's not possibly sending messages or something, or whatever it does to liches and stuff. Anyways,
well, to be honest, I'm a botanist. I run an apothecary. I don't know much about magic in the arcane sense. It's not really my box, as it were.
oh, I completely understand, because, well, I mean, I always got along with you fine, because I'd much rather be sitting down in a forest collecting stuff, handing it off to others.
And I always appreciate all the healthy herbs and healing salves that you find from mushrooms. I always appreciate you every time you bring something. So
And
the bone dust that can be turned into a tonic that can help with bone growth, but that's about much of the application I can think of it.
I mean, well, let's be honest. Having the bone marrow and the bones that I do carry in my satchels are just really handy, because I can make them move around for us whenever we need aid. Think it creeps other people out, but I don't know why. Real cute when they're animated and
Well,
such.
well, picture this way. The last time anyone's really dealt with skeletons and other undead was during the war, and they butchered and ripped people to pieces. So, yeah, it would creep a few people out. I mean, I don't. I've gotten used to all the different helpers that I've had in the past. But I'm gonna be honest, when we met for the first time and you had that zombified human walking behind you covered in fungus, it was a little unsettling.
I A lot of people seem to get unsettled by things that seem to be dead.
Well, I think it's more that it stops the natural process. Because normally there's life and death, and undeath is kind of like the blocking point. So it makes people nervous due to that it looks humanoid, but it's humanoid. Like it can be a bit,
Drawing.
yeah,
Yeah.
a
I
little bit unsettling. because it
Yeah, I think
resembles a face, but it's not.
I'm guessing the fact that my pants were liches, maybe why I'm not unsettled by it, because there was a lot of them going around at home. I just thought it was normal.
It, which is understandable, but sadly, it's not normal. It's not what a lot of common folk would see as the norm.
So I'm guessing like a lot of people then, when their parents give them like a doll or a toy, it's not just the skeletal remains of something to
No,
play with.
it's normally a Swede head with a cloth tunic and little buttons for eyes. It's not really a skeleton that moves around.
Well, that makes more sense. I still don't understand why they wouldn't just find it just the same. It's not really there. It's still undead. It's not like it stinks. I mean, they're just bones.
True, but again, it's the fact that it was a person, that it was a living, breathing individual that had a life, a family, potentially a loved one, potentially children, potentially friends that might recognize it in some way.
Yeah, I didn't have many of those that were, well, let's be honest. I'm a little bit creepy. I understand that.
I always found you quite pleasant, to be honest.
It's nice. Some people don't find the fact that I just tamed a monster and had undead around me as fun.
Honestly, with the length that we've travelled, we've seen everything at this point, and we're still going to see more.
Yeah, just as a heads up. Now, when next time we're attacked, watch out for the difference between the undead and the monstrous forms, because some of the monstrous forms can be tamed.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'm just saying. Now, I have a lovely mimic now as my pet. I wouldn't say
She looks down at the keys.
I wouldn't say he's my pet. He's a friend.
Well, right now, judging, because I know a few things about monstrosities. You know, you have to learn everything when it comes to botany, and being an apothecary, you have to learn about the different, like, ingredients for certain things to make more potent healing salves and stuff. So, I know a mimic when I see one. And it's it's juvenile, it's young, it doesn't know much.
So he was frightened. The poor thing was frightened. Somebody was hiding him and just did a lot of not nice things to him. Anyways, he's here with us now. He's very sweet and very kind. I think he irritates others, but when we look at those big hordes again, we need to find things that don't belong and aren't right. Now, usually the things that people are scared of, like mimics, sometimes they can fall to our side and just need to be freed. I'm just saying.
Well, if anyone can free monstrosities from captivity, I'm sure you'd have a crack at it.
Well, they're just like other animals. Sometimes they're scared. And they have feelings too.
Well, a lot of monstrosities are just trying to find their place in the world. At least that's from what I understood and what my mentor taught me. You wouldn't class a centaur as a monstrosity. Some people have done in the past. You wouldn't class a minotaur as a monstrosity. And some people have done that in the past. Or a Yunti, like one of the ancient snake-like people further east, I believe. They have a colony out in the islands somewhere.
Up east, you want to snake people?
Yeah, there are several different type of species of snake-type individuals, like the naga, like the giant serpents. At
I'm
least that,
sorry. This,
that I've only heard bits and pieces. So
all right. Well, I'm gonna write that down because I also found out that if I continue studying, I might live a lot longer than I thought I would. The old man said you live a long time, and he's old, so you know. I'm calling him an old man now. Not to everybody, because that would age him a little bit, and I don't want to put it out there for him. But you probably know more than most about him, so.
honestly, compared to most, I've only known Nick Mason a very short while.
He's an old man. Anyway, so
I mean, I'm aware that he's older than most. I am also aware that he ages very, very slowly.
he's
And
he's shared some stuff, and it's kind of frightening to understand you might live that long. So now I'm writing down things that would be interesting to go to at some point, and these islands seem fascinating.
well, yeah, there's several different and again, I'm not entirely sure where they are. All I know is that it's a selection of tropical islands. I don't even know if they're still around, considering the war destroyed a lot.
Well,
But
I'm writing down all these weird places so that once everything is a little bit more settled and safe, I can go to new places and see new people and races and find out, you could live 5 years with someone or 100 in another place and just wander, learn new.
would you take Daisy with you?
Well, Days is going wherever I go. I mean, I'm following that girl wherever she wants to go for the time being. I'm trying to understand that she does not want to live forever and I can't raise her from the dead when it comes time. But I'm not saying that I won't be keeping her bones. Because,
To be fair, I think by that point, yeah, I'd rather not dwell on that.
here's just this thing, some traditions, they have large ceremonies when someone passes away, and the ashes is something to keep. And I believe that when it's someone you truly care about like that, you're going to keep those ashes. And I'm going to keep her ashes. So no matter where I go, Daisy's come. I mean, right now I'll follow her, and then she'll follow me. It'll be fine.
I've always heard that archdruids tend to have the loneliest of experiences.
Well, I'll have Daisy for the rest of my life beside me, I'll take her to all the places she was too scared to go.
Well, gotta get to a place first.
That we do. I'll also probably have her visit Mason now and then when she feels just to irritate him.
Well,
He's an old man, so he probably won't remember any of us anyways.
I'll be sure to make sure he takes his supplements.
I'm sure he will, and I'll spend the rest of the time I know him telling him he's an old man.
I'm pretty sure after a while he might call you an old lady.
Well, for some, I'm already old, so it's alright. Alright, you have fun with your dwarf friend?
He claims he can handle me.
And
I'm a whole lot of woman.
did he come back for seconds?
Thirds, fourths, fifths. But I think I tired him out after a while. So I gotta wait a bit.
Well, he's still around, so I'm sure he'll be back.
They always do.
Well, you really do know how to tame them, don't you?
Nah, you just gotta know the teddy bears from the mountain lions.
Those mountain lions can sure be fun.
Yeah, but they're only temporary.
Well, that's why you gotta have one mountain lion and the rest, well.
Well, teddy bears you can cuddle with at night. Mountain lions tend to leave in the morning.
Yeah, you know trancing, folks. Trancing is not like the same thing as the sleeping thing. It really doesn't, yeah.
I'm aware that trancing is very unique to the elves, but I am also aware that when it's the right person, it doesn't matter if you're trancing or resting next to someone.
Just don't tell Daisy that. Just don't tell her that, because right now I got her believing that I trance a little bit longer than most, because I just stay with her at night so that she's calm.
How are you two not a couple already?
Because she keeps saying no. I've written her tons of notes and letters. I'm constantly giving her all these romantic little notes. I even gave her a note a couple of weeks ago to tell her how much I cared about her. And I always given her something. I mean, she is such a precious little thing. She's just like every rose you've ever tried to grow in a flower shop. You know how delicate they are. If the soil's not right, they die. And they don't flourish. And the petals don't come out quite right. And they don't bloom if everything is not absolutely perfect. She just
Well-
doesn't see it. She doesn't see her bloom and self.
Well, Kitty, just...
Yeah.
Should I get you to lean forward a bit? Maybe you should start treating her like a person instead of a flower.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that. I've not been good with people, though.
Let's put it this way. She's not a delicate rose that's gonna wither under any condition. She's a strong, independent, stubborn individual.
It's why she has so many beautiful little thorns. They really are delightful.
And I would agree. But treating her like a flower that's going to wilt and wither under non-perfect conditions, that's not treating her like a person, that's treating her like an object.
I often do treat her like a person, but she has these moments where she's having problems keeping her wits about her. She has a lot of what I guess are called anxiety attacks. And for her at the moment, the only thing that she can do when there's one is just sit with her. And I will sit with her as long as she needs me to stay.
Then that's all you need to do, is just be there.
I figure one day, though, one of those notes she might see and understand.
Or you can just tell her properly.
Oh, I have.
And I don't mean in your normal flirtatious manner, I mean straight up being vulnerable.
I told her the first day we met. Now, that was probably a little bit too soon now that I've known her better. It was probably a bit too soon to tell her now. I mean, some people find that really endearing that you know right from the start, but she didn't seem to be the type.
Well, hindsight is everything.
But I have told her. And I'll keep telling her. And one day she might believe me. And if she's noticed, I mean, I haven't flirted with another female since she was an elf for a day. Because, well, it's not as much fun now that I know what the real thing's like.
I would say keep holding on to that.
I'll enjoy my freaking out about figuring out what liches actually really do and what I'm getting myself into. Ugh. Alright. If you don't, seeing you don't need actually any help, I'm gonna head out. I have bone marrow, as I said, lots of it. If there's anything else that you've been trying to procure that you haven't found, just ask.
I will.
I got a lot of oddities. I have some black ichor that's not safe.
Okay.
I have vampire dust. It's to be cautious with. And I know I got a number of other weird oddities, so just ask and I'll go through what I got. Now, have you had your breakfast yet?
Yes.
Alright. I was gonna make sure you had a time to get out. Well, I would have stayed. I'll go have breakfast, enjoy yourself, and just remember now I can do that weird thing. It's new. I just figured it out. Hopefully I get it right. And I'll head out. And Mary would definitely notice that this is probably the first time I've not hit on every woman I've seen and man. It's just the men.
Right. So, as you go off and get about your day, Yaya, what have you been up to this morning?
I suppose she's been at a perch where she stares at the village. And I guess she's going to start flying down the road, scouting it out, checking for safety. She feels drawn to that village.
Okay. Flying overhead, sometimes a little bit lower just to get a better detailed view of the road ahead. It's very odd seeing an actual, like, slightly curving road. Like an actual dirt path. Big enough for, like, wagons to, like, carefully and safely traverse. Beyond that, pretty calm. There's not really any signs of, like, monster ambush zones or bandit ambush. Like, you see the places where they could be, but flying overhead and just getting ready on a just in case, you don't see anyone in those particular environments unless they are extremely well hidden. But even with your keen sight, nothing really escapes your gaze, so... You can roll a perception check or a survival check, just to see. Oh.
16.
16, okay.
Breather.
For the most part, don't see much. I mean, you see a few herds of deer. Maybe one or two sightings of wild horses or giant elks in the forests. But beyond that, not much else that would draw your attention. And you know what you're looking for, but it's just nothing that would be as overbearingly worrying.
He's probably going to fly down to one of the giant elks.
Mhm.
Examine it, see if it's. I suppose A, is it completely natural, and B, is it completely natural to this world?
That'd be a nature check.
Oh, that's a 25 with a nat 20.
Giant elks are very native to Enumar, whether it be north or south. North giant elks, from what you can recall, is like the standard like dark brown to light brown. And as you get closer, the giant elk is like feeding, and then just like the ears twitch and looks like outside, then it turns like in your direction. And it's a pure white giant elk, very graceful, very beautiful looking, with normal, what looks like bovine eyes, which is like standard for a giant elk. Completely natural to the region. Looks completely calm. You guess it's a male, maybe a buck. Very young, like it's just reached maturity.
She's going to approach it closer.
Seems fairly calm. It doesn't perceive you as a threat. At least, not yet, unless you do something to provoke it.
She reaches out slowly, making sure that it can see a hand at all times. And then starts to strike it on the neck.
It allows you to approach. It allows you to sort of pet it. Go ahead and roll me a d10.
That's a 9.
9. As you're petting it, you get a strong... Can't describe what it is. It's kind of like a rhythmic beat. As you're petting this elk, and you're petting right around where its artery should be, and you're feeling its heartbeat. This strong, loud heartbeat. And as you're looking at it and you're petting it, your eyes are just drawn to where the artery is. And in a flash, you see the entire circulatory system of this elk. And you know exactly where is a good place to get what is. What's there? And something about it is intoxicating to you. And you feel something rattle against that internal cage. Something very hungry. You can roll a wisdom save if you wish. But I will point out, Yaya, you are at 1 hunger now.
Sorry?
You are at 1 hunger.
Okay, so she's just rolled a wisdom save. She's just rolled a dirty 20 on the wisdom save.
The DC was 10, it's now gone up by 1. As you retract your hand before you take another deep inhale, you didn't think breathing hungrily was a thing that you do anymore. But as you look at your nails went slightly longer, as if they were about to rip something open. But you move your hand away, and you retain control, as the beast inside retreats into its corner, not quite at the level of strength it needs to be persuasive or intimidating. As eventually the giant elk just turns and begins to walk deeper into the forest. But you still see like the echoing pulse of its circulatory system until it's out of your dark vision range, and then you see a beautiful white-furred elk.
He follows the elk.
Okay.
Tries to move up to walk beside it,
Okay.
trying to gain its confidence.
Well, you rolled well enough that you have its confidence that it's calm enough that it's not going to bolt away from you. And it goes to a clearing. It's this open little pond that you see a doe is teaching its calf how to drink water properly. You see birds flying in between trees. It's a very peaceful place. What do you like to do?
Probably just going to sit down and try and absorb the peace into her soul.
Okay. It's been a long time since you've been surrounded by this amount of natural beauty. Even turning into 3 wild stallions come and take a drink. The morning dew that the sunrise is dissipating leaves a very beautiful sun rays coming in between the trees, reflecting off the water. And there's that smell of fresh cut rain just in the air, just hanging. The pond itself looks to be fresh water, and there's a tiny little stream that's just flowing from one end to the other, and you gather the other one's leading off into what could be a river, another stream, leading all the way down to the ocean. Everything here just allows you to be still and in the moment, and regain full composure and full control. And it's just that peace. And it brings you a sense of calm.
He cups a hand and takes a handful of the water and drinks of it.
It's cool, refreshing, clear. There's no sign of like tampering or like it's not still water or stale water or brown water. It's just clear, pristine, and calming
She stares at her reflection in the water, looking at what she sees.
Where's a question for you, Yaya? Do you see who you were before? Or do you see the vampiric visage that you're trying to deal with?
I don't think she knows what she's expecting to see.
You see familiar features. You see a very familiar nose, a very familiar chin. Same hair colour. The ears are just as they were. The only difference is the eyes. They're paler. A little bit reflective like a cat's eye when light shines over them. Very... There's a predatory gaze in them. It's everything that as you think you would look like by the bar the eyes.
He continues to stare at the eyes, trying to force them to change back to what they were.
They would if you could remember what your eyes used to look like. It's the one part of your memory that's harder to recall.
She tries to force him to change in the reflection to those of the giant stag.
Okay. Is this a spell you're attempting to cast, or is this a... just trying to will it?
She's just trying to will it because those eyes are probably the calmest things she's seen recently.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another d10.
Eight.
Okay. As you stare and concentrate, you see the veins around all of your eye pulse with blood. As you see your eyes begin to shift and change into that of the elks.
He stares down at the reflection and tries to decide whether that's to some degree overcome the beast that's within her, as that creature was, as she knows that the elk was a vegetarian, herbivore.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't. The beast is subdued, for the most part. It's starting to, like, rear its head and gnaw against the cage, but it's still subdued. For the most part, it hasn't gone away. Even with a herbivore's eyes staring in the reflection. It's just lingering. Would you like to keep staring at the water, or would you like to go back to the camp? What would you like to do?
I think she gets. She dips her hands into the water and then grabs some soil and then just rubs it over her face, trying to hide those veins that she saw around her eyes.
Okay. Takes a minute, but you kind of added like a brown, soily eyeshadow around your eyelids.
Not that it'd make a lot of difference on her face at the moment anyway, but
Not really.
she
Just trying to do
wipes.
something.
And then she sort of like walks over to
The elk?
to the Yelp, and she's just sort of like reaches up to its head. So,
Mhm.
I wish I could stay with you, but I don't think it'd be safe for you. And she just reaches up and kisses its forehead, and then walks away, and then flies up into the air.
Okay. It actually, its head turns as its eye just watches you leave. And as you go further and further away into the air, you gather it's still just trailing where you're going.
And she continues to fly in the direction of the village, the road leading to the village.
Mm-hmm. It's still, by this point, still 3 days out. So it's still a far, far, far place, even with the level of detail you've been able to see of it. So you get as far as you can for most of the morning before feeling like needing to head back to the camp, or at least give an update on what you've seen and reconned. Do you continue to fly forward?
He's drawn to continue on. Part of her thinks that she needs to keep head away from the camp, but part of her knows that she needs to get back to the camp to drain dreams, otherwise she's gonna let the beast out. So she's gonna start flying back towards the camp.
Okay. So it takes better part of the morning, or the rest of the morning, for you to get back to the camp around midday. As all of you are helping the camp pack up, moving things around, occasionally pass each other to just pack stuff away. But the afternoon is yours, all of yours, whatever you wish to do.
Sorry, let's mute it. I'm going to get myself a scimitar from anyone that has one to spare.
Mason hands you one. It's unfortunately it belonged to one of the druids that is no longer part of the group as they passed away. But they said it's better suited in someone's hands rather than being a relic hanging on a bedpost.
Yeah. I'll give it some experimental swings just to check the balance compared to the one that I was used to.
It's for the most part light. It's usable, very functional. I mean,
Yeah.
scimitars by their own right are styled, beautiful, curved weapons in their own
Yeah.
right. Very, very dangerous slashing weapons and a piece of art in their mastery of creation. This is no exception. It's a beautiful, ornate handle with brass and ivory. The pommel itself looks like a seashell. The handle is curved down one end, but then it curves up, almost like a dervish scimitar. Like has that kind of like a wave. Like it's very sea based.
Mm.
And the blade itself is what looks like a beautiful type of folded Damascus that is kind of wavy all the way through. So it has a very strong connotation with the ocean.
After like 2 or 3 swings to just check the balance and going through some of the very old basic training that I've had way back when. Just going like, yeah, this will work. And make sure I've got it on my belt.
Okay. Can you go ahead and roll me a perception check?
Oh yeah, that's not good. 19.
19? Okay. Everyone seems to be ready to go. The wagons are all propped up and the wind resistors are placed on just in case. And everything looks ready to go.
I'm just kind of looking like, why aren't people moving yet? Like, if everything's ready to go, why?
Well,
What's the holdup?
Everyone's putting like the final pieces in.
Okay.
Going from like folding up tents to like placing them very carefully in
Yeah.
the actual wagons and make sure the horses are watered and fed, and so this is like the final finishing touches.
All right.
But if there is
Yeah.
nothing else,
No, not at this point.
okay, you all clamber onto separate horses or onto the wagons, help some of the more elderly get into the more transport-based wagons and the carriages and such, and start the journey.
I'll just be keeping an eye out on the horses that are pulling the wagons. If one of them, because they've had a few days as well, one of them's looking too tired, I'll step in instead.
Yeah. Well, thankfully they've been doing nothing but grazing and resting for like the past like 2 days.
Yeah.
So
still,
they've...
just keeping an eye out.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyone
I
else?
don't know if anyone has had a misstep during that flight, so I'm just trying to make sure that if one of them looks like they're, maybe not quite crippled, but starting to move a little differently because they are actually hurting a bit. I'm just looking at the animals to make sure that I can step in.
Okay.
Trying to keep my mind off of other things.
Weird question. Does it look like there's anyone here who might know how to write cursive?
I mean,
there are a few.
Maybe Yaya.
You know what? Actually,
yeah.
Yaya has.
Yaya has a nobility background and is an heiress to what was once a very powerful elven kingdom. So you could ask anyone to write cursive and they'll give you a demonstration, but if you really want to learn how to write proper, authentic, like high Gothic or high Latin level cursive, Yaya would be the person to talk to.
Yeah.
Yaya would be your best bet. I mean, Daisy knows how to write cursive in just the standard writing, so, basic she could probably help you with. But as soon as it gets like in details of curves and curls and all that sort of stuff, she's like, no, that's above my skill level.
See, I did the thing where I'm based on my own memory, I learned cursive in 3rd grade. How much do I remember? Not a lot. I really don't. I have question marks in some of them because I just have no clue. Like a capital
Okay.
Q, no idea. No clue on that.
Okay.
Like,
So
so I'm gonna have to find Yaya and ask for some lessons.
okay. So for the most part of the rest of the afternoon, Yaya takes you through, if Yaya chooses to.
Yeah, does Yaya want to teach me cursive?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
this
the
is
question.
gonna be fun.
She's quite happy to teach you cursive.
You know
But
that.
here's a-
You know what? That
here-
gets her off my back. So yes, please.
Yeah. So here is a question for you, Yaya. Are you a laid back teacher, or are you a very strict teacher when it comes to cursive writing?
You're gonna have bruises, buddy.
I feel like this is a ruler in hand kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna have bruised knuckles, buddy.
Well, I guess my question is, what type of mentor does Yaya wish to be when it comes to teaching someone how to properly write, as your old literature teacher would put it?
I would say that she's learnt that she's first going to see how good or bad he is, whether he's got any natural talent.
You know what? Just for my own
Yo-
curiosity,
yeah.
James, it's a roll performance check. I'm just curious. I'm
It can't
just
be a
curious.
dexterity check.
Nope, this is cursive writing. This is like
That's
poetry.
that's a dexterous thing.
Nope, it's performance.
That's not terrible.
Mhm.
20 plus 1. 17.
Okay.
But I will say it's a very slow and deliberate style.
Yeah.
Where it's like not actually useful.
Yeah. I mean,
It takes you forever to do the alphabet. Like that
Right.
takes you an hour.
like, yeah, you watch this patiently. You watch him write, and you realize he's more trying to paint a picture rather than
Yeah.
actually write in cursive.
Yeah, it's more drawing than his writing.
Mm-hmm. But the technique is there, the talent is there. It just might need a bit more refinement to go from drawing letters to writing.
So she will give an example of how the flow and everything of how to write the way she's been taught.
You know what I'm gonna ask for you though. Roll performance check. Because I am just curious. I am just curious.
Does Yaya get a bonus of any kind due to her
Um,
background?
Or
I would say-
advantage.
She
I
has
would say
she has
yeah.
proficiency in performance.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. So that's what I would count it as. If Yaya didn't, I would have given like an extra 1d4 as a little bit of guidance.
That was lucky. Okay, so she rolls a 24.
Yeah, so you watch, James, as you look at your, like, I think I did okay, and then you look at this, like, beautiful paragraph of poetry that you can read it, and it's the most curved and, like, regal looking, like, it's fancier than anything you've seen in your entire life, and you look at your writings and realize, like, it hurts a little bit inside. It has that little bit of, like, I know I should be proud, but I'm a little bit ashamed.
And as it's James, she's done it in Infernal.
So it's like the added.
Infernal. Oof.
Well, here's the thing: as she's writing it, you realize Yaya's taking extra precautions to not try to summon anything by accident through the writing in Infernal, because those are words of power when it comes to summonings. But you see a few of like lit up a little bit of like red glyph that shows Infernal, so it's cleverly orchestrated to tell a paragraph of an infernal poet rather than doing a paragraph of summoning multiple devils at once.
I'm sort of, because Yaya knows he's got that book,
Hmm.
and she's smart enough to put 2 and 2 together to try and figure out what he's trying to do.
I say I would have
Yeah.
explained
Yeah.
that I found out that it hurts if I use bad penmanship with summoning.
Yeah. So that will tailor your lessons that you can do over the next few days. So eventually, I'll say by the end of the 3rd day, James, you can add performance as a proficiency.
Okay.
But that'll be at the end of the 3rd day, so you don't have to add it right
Yeah.
now. But it's just like probably in the next session, add it because
Yeah.
then we'll be doing a time lapse at the end of the session of everyone arriving at the village. So yeah, that's what you do for the next 3 days of like until your wrist is
I say-
literally like shaking.
Yeah, it's cramping up and everything.
It's like
The same way my hand is feeling at the end of the session when there's a lot of lore dropping.
yeah,
Yep.
and literally like I think for those 3
Stop the lore! It hurts!
Yeah, for 2 nights you go to Mary whenever the wagons have stopped because no one's unpacking. It's like we need to get to the entryway because then we can actually properly try and find a bed or something. After a while, Mary just like grabs like some freezing cold like ice cubes that Mason's made and just wraps them in a towel, just wraps it around your wrist to like sort out the burn.
And also, Yaya is definitely not going to be teaching James in the sort of traditional English schoolmaster type of wrapping a ruler across his knuckles every time he gets it wrong.
I'm pretty sure James would be grateful for that, considering he is an archer.
I kind of need my hands.
Just out of nowhere, you see Yaya just like reaching for a rune, and you're like, no, please, no, and she just places it down on the paper and just like makes sure you underline. It's like the mere presence of a ruler in the teachings.
Not the hands!
Yeah,
Oh, he's gonna be useless in a fight with those cramps.
I would say there might be a bit of a.
Just like the
Yeah,
just
it's
shake, like trying not to scream in pain.
I'm struggling to grip the bowstring.
Yeah, you've been
Just the bow
writing.
shaking a little bit.
It's like, what do you mean you missed? My wrists hurt, okay?
I've been writing for 3 days.
Yeah, have you taken breaks? I should have taken breaks.
But it'd get better faster if I didn't take breaks.
You know, you can't really write if your hand's cramped up, so, you know, take a break, massage the hand, continue.
I feel like James is learning that over the course of 3 days to remember to take breaks.
I'm learning how to take breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. Besides that, because I'm starting to run out of energy, I'm starting to run out a bit of steam. In the forest, there's a pair of eyes just watching the wagons as they go by. As a roguish individual is sort of just watching, whispering into a bird that then flies out to the forest and looks like an everyday like sparrow, and it flies directly towards the village.
Do we
That's
know
when
this person?
Nope, because they rolled a natural 20 and they were plus 10 to stealth.
It's like win.
You're 19 with like, yeah, everyone looks good, everything looks good. And I'm like, ah, shit, that's a.
I hate to break it to you, James, but that was exactly why I asked you to roll. As far as you're aware, everything was fine.
Yeah.
But
Well, a plus 10 to stealth really isn't too bad yet.
no, but it's not great. For a group of level 8 adventurers, a plus 10 to stealth on an NPC is not exactly helpful. But that is where we'll pick up in 2 weeks' time, as we will time lapse, unless there's very quickly anything that anyone wishes to do something.
Nothing small.
Fair.
Just saying nothing's more.
Right. Okay, so we shall pick up in 2 weeks.